Well, he's a Eurasia.
Are we on?
We're on.
We're on. Hey,
Uh-oh.
Charles.
No.
Hey, this is Coffee and a Podcast. I'm Iris Forcier.
Charlene Chapman.
And today we're doing an interview with one of my most favorite people of Issaquah. Issaquah. That name is so fun, isn't it?
Issaquah.
This is Charles McCrone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, and Charles is been around Issaquah for a long time teaching music, and he's also an author of these 3 books here. It's a trilogy, and it's amazing, and we're going to talk about that later. But first, Charlene's
You've actually read them.
I have read
you're
them,
not-
and I
You're
love
not.
them.
You're not a paid.
No, this is
No,
not a
this
paid
is not-
endorsement
Yeah,
for
it's an
your
actual,
books.
It's an
yeah.
actual endorsement based on
And-
experience.
And well, and I also have experience with your music through my daughter, because you're a great teacher and you teach a lot of people.
She was that the video?
Yeah,
you showed?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so cute. She
My
brought
first thing she ever did with you.
Oh, okay.
Bridge over Water. What was it?
But anyway, Charles
Yeah.
McCrone, and no, it was Smoke on the Water.
Smoke on the
But
Water.
Bridge is a different one.
Bridge on the Water. Smoke on the Water.
Bridge
Sorry.
on bridge.
Somebody's
I know.
smoking under the
You know,
bridge.
you
I
combine
need
it
to
with Simon and Garfunkel, you get Bridge Under Troubled Water.
That's
There
right.
you go.
That's
Bridge
exactly.
Bridge Over Troubled
That's
Water.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke on Troubled Water.
Somebody's-
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Smoke on
You
Troubled
okay?
Water.
Yeah. It just got a little carried away.
We're
there, throwing
excited.
them
We're in
around.
his studio today
Yeah,
downtown
this is
Issaquah.
awesome.
And Charlene put together some questions for you, Charles, about your music.
Uh-oh.
No, I mean
Oh,
just
no,
more
it's all great.
inspirational because you
Yeah.
are an inspiration to many people, many kids, many
Absolutely.
adults, and it's intimidating, you know,
Yeah,
because
I'm
Yeah,
just
for sure.
overwhelmed with all the really cool guitars
I
that you
know.
Yeah,
have
it's
How
in your
many-
studio.
what's your collection number of guitars?
It's over.
here?
Well, if it gets
Was
into
it
whether
all?
do you count bass guitars and mandolins and ukuleles as
Oh,
guitars.
The
But if you-
collection, right?
Yeah, but if you say things with strings, it's over 30.
Okay.
Wow.
Like
Oh.
there's like 5 or 6 basses.
And I know.
There's 12 strings, 11
Yep,
strings,
yep.
7 strings, 8 strings.
Absolutely.
I have a choral sitar, which is
Oh,
really
sitar,
crazy
cool.
looking thing.
Yeah, I love that.
2 Hello Kitty guitars.
I saw that.
I have a
Love that
dobro
one.
style guitar over there.
What is the one?
Well,
with
that
the
one's really cool
box?
because someone
Made
who
that?
used to live around here.
It's a bass, right?
No, it's
Oh, it's a
called a
guitar?
cigar box guitar.
Oh, super.
It's 4 strings, it's
Okay.
tuned to open
Wow.
tuning, and a guy named Chris made that. He's moved to Idaho, I believe, but
Wow.
he made that for one of our like fundraising auctions.
Oh,
It's really incredible.
How cool
Yeah.
is
It's
that?
really, it's not very loud. I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty quiet, but
Yeah.
it is nifty.
It
There's
has a
few-
pickup in it, right? So
Well, I
you can
put one
plug
on
it in?
top of it.
Gotcha.
That little circle is a
Right.
pickup. Yeah.
You're
Right.
right. I saw that.
That's one of the dilemmas with acoustic things is how do you amplify
Yeah.
them?
Yeah.
It's an ongoing
Exactly.
struggle.
It's
So
always hard, but yeah, this is
I know.
amazing.
We're-
I also have
Where
a
is-
Appalachian dulcimer.
A what?
Oh, wow. A dulcimer.
That thing.
Oh, this,
that's
that
an
is
Appala-
amazing.
That's an
Oh, look at
Appalachian.
this.
That's a mandolin.
Mandolin,
Yeah.
that's what I
But I have
Wow.
the Appalachian dulcimer is what Joni Mitchell played California on.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Do you play all of these instruments?
I try.
Wow.
The mandolin's challenging because it's not tuned like a
Yeah,
guitar.
right.
Right.
Like most things are in the guitar family, so when you play ukulele, it's
Yeah.
like, kind of like playing a guitar, but mandolin is like a violin tuning, so you're like starting from scratch.
Wow. That
So I
is
know how
so
to play
cool.
like 3 songs on mandolin. And then
Wow. That's more
Yeah.
than a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's helped keep me interested in music to
Right.
keep expanding. You know, like
Yeah.
I learned how to play drums over the last 10, 15 years. I didn't know how to play drums in my 20s.
You taught yourself.
Yeah,
Self-taught.
using YouTube videos. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, self-taught. Yeah.
Well,
That
yeah,
was-
I've been in bands. You know,
Yeah.
I have terrible like actual drum roll technique
Oh.
because that's something you have to learn from a drum teacher.
Develop.
So I play drums like a Calicut Neanderthal or something.
I find that so hard
That's
to believe,
funny.
Charles.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, that
I-
was actually one of my questions.
What?
How many different instruments do you play?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's hard to, it depends on what you count all the guitar things as separate, right?
Yeah.
Like if I was trying to boost a resume, I'd say
Right.
guitar, bass guitar,
Mhm.
mandolin, banjo, ukulele, dulcimer. You know, you keep
a
going
lot,
with dobro,
yeah.
but a lot of those things are kind of the same instrument. Keyboards,
Yeah.
drums.
I knew it.
What I don't do is any woodwinds. Never played any woodwinds.
Oh no, woodwinds.
Not
No what?
Woodwinds.
You know, like saxophone or.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
brass, no woodwinds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are kind of outside of the
Yeah.
rock band, but I can help the kids with all the rock band instruments.
I
you know.
thought I remember you
amazing.
liking speed metal. Is that no? Was
I
that-
like metal. Yeah,
You
I
metal,
mean, I
okay.
tell people the primary genre that I listen to now. back when I knew you was
Right.
originally it was probably symphonic metal, and now it's
Symphonic,
more
yeah.
metalcore, which is
Okay.
funny. Like, you know how Spotify did that listening age thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I got 21. It
Oh,
was it was
wow.
crazy.
That's
which means
interesting,
which
yeah,
means
yeah.
I listen to a lot of recent music, especially
Yeah.
compared to other people my age.
Right. That's
So,
nothing wrong with that.
But I also
No.
it's funny. I like metalcore, but then I like ambient, electro pop, really like piano based pop. I like stuff on the opposite. It seems like the opposite end of the spectrum too.
Yeah, like Fulton Lee, or there's a lot
Like
of
what you wouldn't want, what you think I'd like more, which I tend to like less, is just straightforward rock or blues.
Right.
Being a guitarist, you think, oh, you
Right.
must love classic rock. It's like certain bands, but like
Yeah.
that's not my strongest interest.
Yeah.
In classic rock bands, I really like
Right.
obviously Rush, going to see them this
Oh
year.
yeah.
Oh, sure.
And I like
Which I
like
saw.
when
Years ago when they
Oh,
first went.
Rush.
yeah.
That's how old I
Well,
am.
here's why I got tickets for the Rush reunion thing.
Yeah.
It's because I haven't seen them since '92. So I say they're my favorite band.
Yeah.
Never saw them between
See, that was
'92
one
and
of my
now.
questions.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like, you know, when I got into the pre-sale because I'm a Citibank card holder.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta do this. But
Oh, yeah.
the tickets for Rush were more than all the other concerts I've been to in the
Yeah.
21st century combined.
Did you
Cost wise.
Did you VIP it too?
No, but
Oh.
just getting like first
It's
balcony
like that was
seats were-
VIP price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just getting like the first balcony or something. It was
Yeah.
like $400 a ticket. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the most I've spent on
Wow.
any concert.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you should
And
go.
now
To,
they've gone up so
yeah,
much.
I mean, I go to little bands like Birthday
Yeah.
Massacre's band I
Right.
support on Patreon, and their tickets are still like $30.
Exactly.
And I've been
No, I
to
know.
4 of their shows. So
Ooh,
Yeah.
you must really like that.
I do. Yeah.
That's pretty
Awesome.
cool. What other questions did you
Yeah,
have?
well, no,
Sharon?
that was
I know.
some.
Rush
like
is
the
my
genre.
all-time favorite band.
Rush.
That's awesome. Do you have
Okay.
a favorite singer?
Well, I go through stages. I mean, I listen more to bands than singers, but my current favorite singer is a lady named Flurry.
Flurry.
That's her
Fleury.
stage name. It's Fleurie.
Oh,
So
we
she's
gotta check
my
her
most
out.
listened to Spotify
Oh,
artist.
see, we're gonna have to check her out.
Yeah.
Well, what's weird about Flurry, I always say Flurry is the person with the most YouTube views that no one knows her
Mhm.
name. So she
Oh,
did a
wow.
cover with her producer of "In the End" by Linkin Park. It has 150 million views on YouTube,
Wow.
but I've never met another person who knows her by name.
Wow.
So
yeah.
somehow she's put songs in movies and show
Right.
soundtracks.
Oh my
And
goodness.
she's
But no.
she's got like 5 hours of music on YouTube, but
Those are my favorite.
But nobody knows
Yeah.
her name. It's really weird.
Those are my
Wow.
favorite
But
people. though.
I adore her. So
Exploration. And
I discovered her
finding-
in 2022.
Yeah.
Probably not all-time classics favorite singers on the wall back there. You probably consider Kate Bush.
Yeah. Kate
Yeah.
Bush. Love Kate Bush.
But I went through a stage of really liking Jewel. I think Jewel is a phenomenal
Oh, yeah.
singer.
yeah, she had a different style.
Yeah, she was very flexible, did lots of different things.
Mhm.
Don't really like her albums post like
Right.
2006 very much, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's cool.
That is so
Vanessa
cool.
Carlton, I love Vanessa Carlton.
Yeah.
The joke is I'm the only male Nessaholic. So, I went to see Vanessa Carlton on her first tour. It was a bunch of college girls and me.
Yeah, I've been there,
Oh,
done
yeah.
that since
It was-
Piper's age is 25.
It was pretty funny, but
yeah.
I like her a lot.
No,
I'm
that's
seeing a
very
lot
cool.
of new talent come out. I just have to say,
Oh,
FYI.
yeah.
On Instagram, I have discovered between 22 and 27 these phenomenal artists
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out, like
That's
that
a
are
lot.
unknown.
Yeah,
that are
it's a weird
amazing.
world where it's easy to discover
Yeah.
people like that, but they are also none of them are getting paid what they're
No.
worth. That's the flip side.
Yeah.
It's like exposure is great, but the exposure is not getting them a lot of money.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There's a lot
so-
of
so it's
young
like-
kids
Yeah.
playing guitars. I've noticed a lot on Facebook, and I've passed them on. I'm like, man, these kids are just.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
Amazing.
that's why I support two bands on Patreon because
Yeah.
they're not making a lot of money.
Right.
It's merchandise, Patreon.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, just the touring thing costs a lot of money.
It does
and they're not.
cost a
and
lot
they're,
of
money.
You know, like if you do the math, if you go
Yeah,
to my
right.
favorite place is El Corazon. If you go to that
Yeah.
place
Scott goes there.
and see 4 bands,
Yeah.
if you look at the ticket price, the cost of the venue, the cost of gas,
Right.
none of these people could possibly
No,
be making much
no.
money.
No.
No, I've seen a lot
Yeah.
of people coming from out of the country in, and I'm like, I asked Piper, takes me to some of the shows, and I'm like, how do these people make any money? They're not.
Yeah.
They're
Well, a
just-
couple of my favorite bands have never been here because of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
One's from
yes.
Australia.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
One's from Paris, France, and they
Yeah.
have only come here as openers for other bands. one of my favorite bands is from Scotland. They've only been to the East Coast.
Uh-huh.
So it's like I'm just hoping to be able to see these people.
Well,
once.
that just means
Yeah.
you have to make a trip abroad.
There you go.
Charles.
Gotta go
I've never
pond.
been to Europe, so.
Oh, Piper and I went to Rome. It was
Yeah,
so
never
great.
been.
She'll be your tour guide.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you got to go to France.
Well, part of
You
it's
gotta
just
go
getting time away from.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
you're
one of my
so-
favorite
yeah,
phrases is, and this kind of cuts through both of the subjects today.
Yeah.
And I actually got this from Dave Irish, who's a Christian singer-songwriter that I played for 20 years, and he got it from some book. But it's like, if I'm paraphrasing, it's long faithfulness in the same direction. And that's kind of the story of my philosophy of being, you know, like, this school's been here over 20 years.
Right.
Wow.
You know, I've been teaching on the street since 1998.
Really
So-
cool.
And,
Charles
and there's
McCrone.
only been a couple of times that I've taken more than a week or two off since
Yeah.
1991.
And you
Wow.
need to.
So,
you
yeah,
need to
so-
reset
so-
your brain.
Yeah, so it's
right?
like
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
you know, just the other day, someone called for lessons,
Yeah.
and she said, "You remember me?" And I was like, "Of course I remember you." But I taught her son in the '90s when he was in high school.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
my
now
goodness.
46,
Oh.
and his mom is calling us for violin lessons.
She's
so-
gonna do
For her?
violin?
Yeah.
Wow.
but like,
Oh, Grandma.
this, but the
Go
deal is
home,
that
I
this goes
mean.
so far back. Like,
Wow.
like
Yeah.
the relationships go
Yeah.
so far back,
So
and it's
deep.
just being there for people
Yeah.
and not disappearing on them.
That's
I mean,
true,
I've been
yeah.
teaching in the
That's
same
right.
area
That's-
since 1991,
Yeah.
and I have
Wow.
an adult student who's been here 18 years. I have a kid
That's
student
amazing.
who, well, he's not really a kid anymore. He's my son's age, but he
Yeah.
plays for my band. He's the other guitarist in my band.
Right.
But it's 18 years of lessons with him,
Yeah.
and he started with me as an
Wow.
8-year-old as a beginner.
Wow.
And he's now
So
in my band. And you know, people say, "How'd you write a book too?" Well,
Oh yeah. Like
it's the same philosophy.
3 books.
It's like it
Yeah,
took.
not just one,
Well,
but
it took.
you-
It took 8 years to write those 3 books,
yeah.
and
Wow.
so I did it in my spare time, and it was just really just
Spare
like
time. Yeah,
consistency.
spare time.
You know, like I would just consistently
Yeah,
do it
right,
at a certain time of
exactly.
the week. We'll talk more
Right.
about that later.
Okay.
But like if you stick to things, you know,
Yes.
or like YouTube.
No, it's
I mean,
true. It's true with anything. You
I
do
have almost
craft.
1 million views on YouTube, but
Yeah.
the first 8 years I was on YouTube, I got almost no views.
Right.
And then I just started investing in YouTube the way you're supposed to, you know, doing the proper
Oh.
descriptions and tags and
Yeah,
things.
yeah, we're just learning that.
But it's got, if you look at YouTube curve, it's 100% exponential.
Mhm.
Like you get no results and no results and no results, and then all of a sudden, woo, your
Yeah.
channel starts
Yeah.
doing this.
Exactly.
Next time.
Not to the point where it's making me much money, but at least in terms of having some kind of impact around the world, I can say
That's
that
right.
I do. You know,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I get anywhere from like 4 to 20 comments a week from all
Oh,
over the
wow,
planet
that's
on YouTube.
awesome.
Yeah, so, and
Yeah.
most of them are positive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
can
ignore
always
those
have
other
the
ones.
haters.
Somebody
so
this
it's all
morning was
good.
like, "This sounds like trash. Seattle's a hellhole." I'm like, "Thank you for that." Remove.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Delete.
Okay.
Oh my
Bye-bye.
God, they're too
But
funny.
yeah, so it's like long faithfulness can get you places, but a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
people, you know,
I
but it
love
also
that.
means being patient and
Mhm.
being
Diligent.
hardworking,
Yeah.
and not going always for like the immediate glory.
Mhm. No.
You know,
Right,
like some people
right.
like just get they're like they've got to have that glory now.
Yeah, no.
And I just
We're
do,
in it for the
I
long
just do
haul,
stuff.
yeah,
You know, it's kind of like your podcast. You
Yeah.
just stick
Yeah,
with it.
we've been
you know?
in it.
Good
We
to have
just-
fun and
We do have fun. Yeah, that's what my husband said to me as well. You know, just have fun.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
we do.
the
we have a
rest will
good time.
fall into place.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah, and we keep working. We're hardworking, and like you,
yeah.
we're hardworking, diligent. Yeah. So, and music-wise, you have ran this school. This is your school.
Yeah, I
Okay.
own it.
You've ran it
Yeah.
for over 20 years.
Yeah, we opened in December of 2005
Okay.
because I was teaching across the street from Mills Music. Like
Right.
the music store was
Right.
across
I
the street.
remember when
and
that was there.
that relationship was kind of disintegrating for reasons we won't go into.
Right.
But when I was looking at like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I was walking up the ramp from their basement studios, and it's kind of funny. It's like an epiphany moment, like, you know, St. Paul on the way to Damascus or whatever. I was walking up the
Yeah.
ramp, and it said, "For lease on this building,"
Oh.
like framed in my
Oh,
vision.
so it's
I was
just
like, and I was like, well, that'd be easy. My
Aw.
students will be able to go there because it's right across the street. It's not
Yeah.
going to geographically inconvenience anybody.
Right.
So that's where it started. But I made
Yeah.
the decision that instead of just renting like one room, I built a mini school because I was like, there's going to be safety in numbers. We're
Yeah.
going to help support each other.
Absolutely.
So we opened with just these 3 rooms here,
Wow.
and we had like 8 or 9 teachers, and then we just kept adding things.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So,
So
what?
it got to this size 10 years ago, the full size it is
Wow.
now.
It's
So-
huge.
That is
Really
very
huge.
cool.
What else?
What What age were you bitten by the
Oh, music bug.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, I started liking music probably around age 10-ish. I started playing guitar when I was 10, but it wasn't the passion that it became later right away. It was
Okay.
kind of like a slow grow, but
Yeah.
I started listening to like Steve Miller Band and the
Oh, yeah.
Beatles. And,
Oh, yeah.
and then what happened when I was like 12, 13 is then it got really cool to be into music somehow.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was like Van Halen and Def Leppard.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So then when I hit that crop of something about like you being in puberty in 8th grade and then discovering that music and already playing guitar, that's when I started really thinking this is cool and I could like
Yeah.
this is a big part of my identity. Prior to that, actually, it was more like I'm a writer. I was really into drawing and
Oh,
writing,
okay.
so like
Very
you know,
talented,
so
yeah.
but I think what drew me to music over time was it's fast and dirty in a way that writing is not. Writing is pretty slow and laborious.
Laborious.
Rock
yeah,
music,
yeah.
at least, because you
Gotcha.
get faster results,
Yeah,
and also
exactly.
it's social. So like,
Yeah.
it was like my in
Yeah.
to connect with other people because I was kind of shy,
Yeah.
so or very shy. So
Wow. I believe it.
yeah, so like you
Yeah.
don't really connect with other people when you're
Yeah.
writing sci-fi novels, at
No.
least not in the beginning, you know.
Right. Oh my God,
yeah.
Charles, you're amazing. I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah,
but
I always tell
Oh
people
my
with Stranger Things, if you look at the first season, those
Oh,
those
yeah,
Dungeons
yeah.
and Dragons
Yeah.
kids, that was me and my friends.
Yeah.
Oh
We
my
were-
God, how cool.
That was exactly
Yeah.
our era. We were playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We were 8th grade-ish. We were kind of nerds, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was, that was running parallel with my earlier interest in rock music.
Wow.
You know, the
That
rock
is
music
so
was growing.
cool.
And then when I moved, I think what happened is when I moved from East Coast to West Coast, that broke my connection with the Dungeons and Dragons group.
Oh.
And then when I got to the new town, it was more about being a guitarist because
Yeah.
there weren't many guitarists in this small town in Oregon. And it's like even without the internet, my reputation as a guitarist just kind of went across the town.
Right.
That's
You know,
cool,
when I
yeah.
moved in, it
Yeah.
was weird. It was like
That's so cool. I didn't know you were from the East Coast.
yeah, in Philadelphia.
Oh wow.
Very
Yeah.
Philly.
cool.
Yeah.
I used to fly in there. I was a stewardess back then.
Oh,
in
okay.
Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah, I was there in a suburb
Yeah.
until the end of 9th grade.
Wow.
And I
Very
moved to
cool.
rural Oregon, which is quite the change,
Yeah, that's a big
Quite
change.
a
Yeah.
change.
especially
Yeah.
in the 80s.
Oh,
When
yeah.
did you land in Washington then?
First wife was from Bellevue, so I went to college at Whitworth
Okay.
in Spokane because I
Right.
wanted to stay that
I know
close.
exactly where that is.
Yeah, I didn't want
Grew up in
to.
Yeah,
Spokane.
you're from
Yeah,
Spokane.
I didn't want
Yeah.
to go farther than the Northwest.
I live
Yeah.
right down the
So-
street.
So I only looked at like Northwest colleges, so that's the one I picked.
Oh,
And
wow.
then I met first wife at that college. She was a year ahead of me. And then after college, we moved here.
Right.
And then I've just been here, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a year down in music school in LA,
Right.
but then we came back here.
Yeah.
So I've been here ever since.
Wow.
Very
So
cool.
who and what inspires you?
Who?
Or now or
Yeah.
past?
Yeah, it could be past, currently, because then that rolls into
Well,
what keeps you creative.
yeah.
So
Ex-
it all kind
well,
of rolls in together.
Yeah, I mean, inspires like musically. I love discovering new music. I would say that most music I listen to now is not what I was listening to 10 years ago.
No.
That's true. Yeah, I
But-
say the same with me.
But I find new guitar playing and new styles developing inspiring. I also, a lot of modern music, mainstream music, I don't like, but
Yeah.
the fringes, I mean, every year it's like there's at least, it seems like in the Spotify or every year there's at least one new inspiring band. Like
Exactly.
I'm
Right.
really into novelists this year,
Yeah.
and last year was Relica, and the year before that was Conquer Divide. They're all
Well,
metalcore
It
bands.
is
Oh,
so
yeah.
nice hearing that new talent and it's
Mhm.
raw.
Yeah, and then I have
It's
like
sweet
favorite
stage.
guitar. I mean, I continue to like guitarists I liked when I was young, like Eddie Van Halen.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really funny. My grandfather was taking care of me one week where the rest of my family was other places. In 8th grade, he said, "You're not going to like that music when you're 30."
You're like,
And
yep,
just-
I
And
still
well, I
love-
think more or less I wonder, do I listen to Van Halen for recreation like I used to? No. But am I equally amazed by him as a guitarist?
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I think that more or less I win that argument.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, what's really weird thing about with rock music is, and this is an interesting thing, if you look at what kids listen to now, it's 2026, and a lot of them are still very inspired by 70s, 80s, and 90s
Yeah.
music. So in some cases, that music's like 50 years old now.
Mhm.
Right.
When I was their age, I didn't like anything that was 50 years old. I mean, anything older than the Beatles was like.
See, I
did.
loved.
I did. I
but
loved
yeah,
that.
but like for my generation, you didn't listen to anything earlier than the Beatles, pretty much. Like that was old.
Yeah.
You know, so rock music's been very enduring. It's
Yeah.
interesting. So, and I don't think my grandpa in 1982 realized that. You know, to
Right.
him it was like that was the new thing. That was just a flash in the pan.
Right.
Right.
But rock
Right.
music since the late 60s has defined a lot of culture.
Oh,
And so,
wow.
like, kids are still interested in, not all, I mean, a lot of
No.
them are into newer hip hop and stuff, but like
Right.
a lot of kids in this program are still inspired by the stuff that I was inspired by when I was their age,
Which is cool.
which is really amazing.
That is
Yeah,
amazing.
'cause
It's lived.
Yeah,
so
I mean, they'll
long
be, they'll be
time,
like,
yeah.
we really want to do blank song. It's a song that was on the radio
Yeah,
when I was a
yeah.
kid. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, you guys still think that's cool? Okay, I'll take
No,
that.
that's
I'll
cool.
take that.
Yay!
So,
You
are
know.
you the only like musical person in your family? Did like with my family, my mom loved music, so I
Well,
grew up lots of
I'm
music.
the most musical, but my mom was really interested in bluegrass banjo in the
Oh,
70s.
cool.
So her banjo is normally here mixed at my house right now.
Oh wow.
So she played banjo for a while in the 70s or the
Wow,
80s,
okay.
That's
and
so
so
cool.
that had a lot of influence on
Yeah.
where I am because I started taking guitar lessons because she was already going to take banjo lessons.
Yeah.
And we got out to the Northwest to Oregon because she came to a banjo conference in Oregon.
Oh.
So it's kind of like the whole
wow.
reason that I'm here. You could trace back to the banjo if you want to.
That's very
Yeah.
cool. What a
Yeah,
cool
and she also played
story.
piano when she was younger. And
Yeah.
my sister played piano but didn't stick with it.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
my dad's the only person who doesn't play an instrument, but he likes to sing. You know. So.
Oh well, there you go.
But I'm definitely the most invested in music.
And your son plays too.
Yeah, and my wife, is
And
really
your
super
wife.
into music.
Yeah.
So we're all in the band together. Oh, good boy,
That's
Klaus.
so cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Klaus.
See, it took him that long to get
Klaus
comfortable.
is the
He's all
dog.
comfortable.
He's so
He's
cute.
beautiful.
Yeah.
He's a big white fluffy dog.
So how do you stay creative? How do you
Um,
keep?
well, you know what's
going?
funny is I don't do, aside from writing a book, I don't do as much creative music as you would think. I don't write music hardly ever, for example.
Yeah.
I
right.
can, I have,
Well, I
but
think that,
I'm more of a, in music I like really deconstructing and reconstructing things. So I really like figuring out equipment. I like
Mm-hmm.
figuring out what makes songs tick. I like learning all the instruments for a song and writing them down for the bands.
Oh, that's amazing. Hi,
I like
Klaus.
reverse
Hi.
engineering stuff.
right.
You know,
No, I get that.
I would love to have the time to write music, but
Yeah.
it's the most time consuming
Yeah.
thing you can do in music. So with running the school and running the bands, I'm pretty happy with
We have a
just-
notepad now.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah.
her your side.
Well,
So,
that-
so
that's
really
all
the most
I-
creative thing
Yeah.
that I've done over the last 20 years is
Sure.
probably the books.
I
Right?
have to talk
Yeah.
about that too.
Yeah, that's
a
what I
nice
We're
said.
no
You
rush.
covered
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
covered
we're
a
no
lot
rush.
of my
Yeah.
questions
That-
already, which is
that
great.
is-
Well, I should say, I mean, we do
Yeah.
teach plug for the school. We have
Yes,
over
please
20
do.
teachers here.
Wow.
It's a huge group of people.
That is huge.
Yeah.
They're not all rock musicians, so we have people who specialize in folk and classical
Oh,
and
that's
other
awesome.
things. You know, people with doctorates in classical music.
White
so,
genres.
So one reason why I call it kaleidoscope is the
Yeah,
original concept.
kaleidoscope.
I mean, can you have a theme that's every theme? It's kind of funny. Like the
Right.
tagline for the school is music in all colors, and the idea was to, if I was going to create a school, let's have it be as comprehensive as possible. That means
Yeah.
we don't have a tight identity like School of
Right.
Rock where we just do rock music.
Right.
But the idea was to have a pre-K program and rock bands for adults, like the whole thing.
Mhm.
So that's what we're trying to do here.
Well,
and-
we've done it for years.
yeah, I
That's
mean, sometimes it's
amazing.
more diverse than others. It's hard
Yeah.
to keep a French to horn teacher.
Right.
It's hard to keep an oboe or bassoon teacher.
Right. Sure.
So we don't
yeah.
always have
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
We've had a didgeridoo guy, but then he moved to Idaho.
Mm.
We've had a Celtic fiddle player, but then she
Oh,
moved
my
to
goodness.
Olympia. So and it's hard to keep.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep
Well,
keep
that's
people
okay.
yeah, but like we have all the
Ebbs and
basics
flows.
here, multiple instruments and
Yeah.
rock bands, and rock bands here run very different than a lot of places. It's an academic, longitudinal, focused rock band thing where you try and create a discrete group of people that play together for multiple years,
Right.
which is harder to do,
It
but
is
more
hard to do.
more meaningful. It's harder
Right.
to administrate.
Yeah, it is.
But I think it's more meaningful in the long
Yeah,
run. So,
yeah.
we have like bands that have been together for 7-8 years.
And this is
Yeah.
why people come to you,
Mm-hmm.
Charles, because you have
Yeah, it's a custom
Master.
Yeah.
custom crafted music rock
Yeah.
band program. you know.
absolutely.
That is amazing.
I wrote down a life-size shot over here. So,
Life-size what?
Siana.
Oh.
Now I gotta figure out how to make a cardboard. Maybe I should call that girl who made one of her band member and ask her how she could. But somehow she printed, like, she took
Oh, you
one
can
of
order them on
On
Instagram
Amazon.
or on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just send them the files? and
Yeah.
then-
Yeah, you
Picture,
just,
yeah.
you find, it's,
Wait, how are you pronouncing it? Because I was.
Oh yeah, most people. Here's a funny story about this. So I was
Yeah.
I was a finalist in the Pacific Northwest Writers Association, which I don't remember even when I joined, but I was a finalist in their writing contest in 2016. So you submit like a 50-page or something version of your book. I don't remember how long it was supposed to be,
Right.
but it wasn't the whole book, because they're not going
Right.
to read everybody's book.
Right.
So you submit basically the start of your novel, and I didn't win the award, but I was one of like 4 or 5 finalists or whatever it was, right?
Uh-huh.
They never asked me at the conference how to pronounce her name.
oh.
No, and I never thought to tell them. So we get to like the awards dinner where they're putting up on the screen all the nominees for each category, and they say Siana's War. And I'm like, oh gosh darn it, I should have told them how to pronounce the
Pronounce
name.
it.
Well, that's how I've always. I
Yeah.
read the whole trilogy, and I
Yeah,
thought it
it's
was.
Siana.
I did not
Yeah.
know that.
Well, and so I really,
Siana.
I really should have. I should have told them. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's supposed to. It's kind of funny because I think I say that it's like a Welsh-derived name, and yet the kind of thing is it's a self. I'm trying not to do any spoilers about the book, but like the character picks
Oh,
it
exactly,
for herself.
Right,
So
sure.
it's a self-appointed title,
Yeah.
and so the joke is that she was trying to be Welsh,
Yeah.
but she didn't even know how to pronounce it. Because I think if
Oh,
it's
wow.
Irish/Welsh, it's actually Shauna.
Shauna.
Like the I
Yeah,
functions
no,
as
I
an
know
H.
you're
The
right.
I
Yeah.
functions as an
No,
H.
yeah.
But I didn't like that. I was going through all these different Welsh names
Shauna.
when I picked one out, and I was like, I like this name, but I like saying it this way. So it's
Right.
Shiana,
Shauna.
but it's not actually probably the appropriate way to say it as a Welsh name. But it's definitely not Siana. And that's how they said it
Yeah.
at the conference, and it was like a
Aw.
knife to the heart because it's like
I'm
it's
so
your your
sorry.
beautiful
Yeah.
book, and then someone says it wrong. But of course they didn't know better, and I didn't tell them, and they never asked. And
Well, yeah.
I think
learning
they probably should have asked.
Yeah. Well,
They
pronunciation.
should have asked.
No,
Yeah.
I.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I read the whole trilogy, and I didn't.
Well, let me see. Like, this is
And-
your copy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if this
And,
has the
uh,
glossary thing in it. Because
Oh no, it didn't. Book
It-
2 and 3
yeah.
had
So
the,
like, if you read,
in-depth.
yeah, I don't think I developed it in
Because
time
it's
for the
funny
first one.
because I made a note and then I noticed in book 2.
Look
it
this. I
had-
have never seen one that actually has the creases there because I just see the new ones.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that
it's
means
really-
she read it.
It's really
I
fun
did.
to see one that's actually been
Oh,
read.
yeah.
I
you know,
I
like-
so
loved
cool.
it so much.
The
In fact,
dreamer and the dancer.
Okay,
We're
so
That's
We're gonna
awesome.
where
have this
is
on our
where is
link.
the glossary? It's in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. You think I
Uh,
would know with my book, right?
no.
Yeah. See, look.
That's too cute.
right there in front of me. Yeah, I never.
Yeah.
even
So
noticed that.
but then I think I
I know.
retroactively put. I think if you get there's the new ones are different. Like if you look at the font, the font is different
Oh, it
on
is.
this one.
It is?
And we went
Yeah.
back. It doesn't have this really cool like
Oh,
whatever you call that.
gotcha.
So I actually went back and retroactively changed it. That's the cool thing about publishing on Amazon is you're literally printing for each person, so
Right.
you can change it. Oh no, this is an old one too. Yeah, this is an old one. So the new ones
Yeah.
have the glossary in the first book, and they also have they have a different font.
Yeah. I love.
Because he came up with that font for book 2, and I thought it was really amazing looking, right?
I
And
love
then that was like, wait a second, we should have done that for book 1.
Well, wait, that is like
Yeah.
650 pages that I read.
With the wrong pronunciation.
Well, with the wrong pronunciation.
No, it's more than 650.
Well, I thought I counted because when I'm digging into a book or a story, I have to see how many pages I set goals, like how
Oh.
many can I read a day? How long will this take me to read?
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, it's reading.
It says something about you to see. I'm the same way.
Oh, you are. Yeah.
No, I like to
I'm
measure
very-
everything.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I measure.
I have a spreadsheet for my hiking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
Like-
a spreadsheet for your hiking?
Hiking, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think
It
that's
has
cool.
it has the temperature,
Yeah, yeah.
the weather,
Yeah.
where we went,
That's right.
Wow.
what area it's in,
Yeah.
who we went with,
Yeah, that's right.
and how many miles we went.
Wait,
Wow.
side note, hiking. Didn't you write a book once for
Yeah,
hiking?
I wrote.
I
it's all
read that
good story.
too.
Yeah. So I got really obsessed with
Now you tell
hiking.
I'm a
In the late
fan.
'90s, I got really obsessed with hiking.
Yeah, you did.
Like I get obsessed
Nice.
with everything.
I read the book.
And so I happened to run into Harvey Manning. You know who he was?
Mm-mm. Oh, was he the
guru of musical Alps?
Yeah. So
So
Didn't
I ran into
of
him.
him
Yeah,
over
he
there?
was
Yeah.
well, I ran into him very close to that statue
Yeah.
when he was still alive.
Yeah.
And I got very involved with his Alps Trails Club, which he
Right.
helped found. And he, somewhere along the way there, he gave me permission to rewrite he and Ralph Owen's guidebook to Cougar Mountain.
Right.
Because I fell in love
read
with
it.
Cougar
Wow.
Mountain.
Yeah.
And I was trying to like hike every trail. And I
Yeah.
ran into Ralph on the trail, and I ran into Harvey down by City Hall.
Wow.
And he, I have actually unique things from Harvey. I have like a torn apart version of his prior hiking guide with all of his notes in the margins.
That's insane.
Oh, that's
Things-
priceless.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's priceless. Things
Yeah.
that he wanted me to. So the book
That's
that I wrote
cool.
is a really weird book because it's a combination of, we scanned Harvey and Ralph's text into the computer back in the 90s. It was very clunky.
Right.
And then I wrote new stuff and added stuff, but
Right.
it's this weird combination of like his prose, which is very different than mine,
Right.
and mine. But it was okay. It was a
Yeah.
self-published thing that like
believe I
I
read
made
that.
$0 out of.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they don't sell it at REI anymore because they don't like selling self-published books there anymore.
Talking about
Oh.
self-publish on
yeah.
your books, did you? I was at this place in Quinault where they were having a sci-fi writing thing. Have you done a lot of those, like the sci-fi?
No, I mean, the only I went to the conference, the PMWA conference in 2016, 2017. 2016, I was in the contest.
Right.
And I actually pitched to agents.
Right.
In 2017, I just went for fun.
Right.
Because believe me, pitching to agents and editors, very stressful.
It is.
Not something
yeah,
I wanted to really
no,
want to do again.
No.
Partly because my experience of doing it the first time
Yeah.
didn't really bear any fruit.
Right.
And the second time, and the second year I just had a concussion, so I was not really wanting
Yeah.
to like do
Yeah.
anything stressful.
Mm-mm.
And then I never went again after that, got busy
Yeah.
with other stuff. And I've done, Downtown Issaquah Association has done 2 writing fairs, and I've done 2 of those.
Okay.
Wow.
It's kind of funny, the second one I was sick, so I missed the second one, and then the third annual one I did, but then my cat actually died that day.
Oh,
So
no. Yeah.
my wife called me
Aw.
away from that one,
Yeah.
and we had to
Oh,
take the cat to the
yeah.
vet, and
Yeah.
my cat died. And
Yeah,
so
that's
so I've only been at like 1 2/3 of those.
Right. Have
But it's like I don't have the time really.
Yeah,
Running a
because
music
you're
school,
so
I don't really
That's
have
why
the
we
time to
feel
like.
so blessed to have
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
to
well,
have
like
the
this
great
this is the end of
churches.
the easy. Like after the next 2 weeks, my life gets really busy straight
Yeah,
through 7
yeah.
days.
Yeah.
We have
Okay.
3 summer camps. We have like 6, 7 shows.
Yeah.
We have vacations for the family. It's all smushed together.
Where are you going? Anywhere fun?
We're going to Whidbey Island and Cannon
Good.
Beach, Oregon.
Oh, good.
Oh, nice.
Cannon Beach is your jam.
I love Cannon.
I
Well,
know.
Cannon Beach is in those
Yeah, I
books.
know it is.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, they always say write.
Zip code the
Well, always
books,
write from
right?
what you know.
Right.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
I can tell you a lot more about that because that's actually a really fun thing. Is how do
Yeah.
you talk about what makes you inspired? I can tell you my tricks for how I constructed those plots.
Nice.
Yeah.
The characters. Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We have to.
Are you
just get into
done
the
with the music
characters.
thing? I mean.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh
like-
well.
oh,
we can
yeah.
always
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about music, but
Oh,
yeah.
we've been out of the music thing for a while.
Well,
writing. I
it all
mean,
relates though because it's all
It
me.
all relates.
right?
Yeah.
It's all and it's all
Charles
creative.
is the
It's all
artist
creative.
here,
Yeah,
and
the artist.
I know it mentioned that you started writing around 12 some of the original characters. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then you kept.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
I wrote a ton of stuff actually when I was like 6th, 7th grade. I was really diligent. I would just be
What
writing.
made you
along
start
with
doing
people.
that?
Just a release.
Well, I think in school they gave us projects in school, like in elementary school, and I always
Oh.
loved them. So like,
Yeah.
like we
That's
had
wow.
to write like a really long thing in like 4th or 5th grade, and I'm like, I went overboard with it, you know.
Yeah.
A++.
When we wrote this story that was like 25 pages long, really big writing,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
in,
Oh, yeah,
in
I
like
remember
5th
that.
grade, and
Yeah.
then I actually turned that into like a whole book after that.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. No, this is. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not. This is just my brain. So this is really crazy. From around 1st grade to around 5th grade, I developed a single story. I'm not making this. This is true. A single story in my mind, continuous for 4 or 5 years, every night as I was falling asleep.
I believe
Wow.
that. That's awesome.
I just kept spinning the story out, and I somewhere I have an outline
Just
from
creative
Yeah.
mind.
and yet it's that long faithfulness in one direction. It
Yeah.
wasn't
That's right.
26
No, I
different
get it.
stories. It was one story for all that
That's
time.
right.
Yes.
No, I get it.
Wow.
And I worked on writing some of that out. I had another series that I wrote like 3 or 4 books in, and we're talking like 200 pages of handwritten stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the Siana one came from a very an abandoned thing. Because the other thing, even though I have a lot of follow through, when I hit like puberty, there were a lot of like starts and stops on things I was
Right.
exploring. So
fragmented, yeah.
there was this story that had a Latin title because I was taking Latin at private school,
Oh,
and it only made it like 10, 15 pages or something. It's
Yeah.
really short.
Yeah.
But in those first 10 to 15 pages, it establishes a couple things. It has a character whose name is not Siana back then. I think her name was Eolia. I used to make up weird names.
Yeah.
But the character who retained the name was Mercer. Mercer was actually in that
Oh, I
story.
like that name.
And Mercer appeared kind of like an Egyptian god.
I'm not gonna
and he was
be a spoiler
yeah, no
alert.
spoilers.
No
and
spoiler
Mercer
alert.
was kind of in that
My
story.
favorite character.
Mercer was kind of like her psychopomp, if you know that word, And it was about her trying to escape this world by going into the world of dreams.
Right.
And so it was, I actually was thinking, I actually have a writing website. It's charlesmccroneauthor.com, I think.
Oh.
And I have a blog there because they told us in 2016 at the Writing Conference you should do social media.
Right.
So that's a perfect example of thing I wish I had more time for because I have so much I could say on my blog about a number of topics if I just had time.
Right.
Maybe just 5
But
minutes.
but one thing I was thinking about the other day,
You can fit
and I was
into-
thinking about this in terms of the story of Annihilation, one of my favorite movies. I don't know if you've seen that, but a lot of times people talk about like plots, like I really love the plot of this, I love the characters. But something I got from Lovecraft, because you talk about who inspires me, all-time favorite writer is Lovecraft.
Okay.
The guy was not great on characters or plot. So
Okay.
then why do people like him?
Right.
And I was thinking that because you go to certain writers for amazing plots and amazing characters, but you go to certain ones, unique ones, for a feeling. And the
that's
guy who
true.
created the Annihilation movie didn't really follow the book too religiously at all because I've read the book now and I just finished it and I've seen the movie a bunch of times. But he said he wrote the movie based on the feeling the book gave him.
Oh.
And I think what's so great about Annihilation, the book, is it really gives you that feeling. It's not very plotty. And so
I'll have to read.
so
Yeah.
so like I think what I got from so I was thinking about writing a blog piece about tone, like the tone or the feeling you get from something versus
Oh, yeah.
plot,
No.
and how
yeah.
sometimes the tone and the feeling is the most important thing.
Right.
Absolutely.
So what I really took from that earlier story that I wrote when I was 11
Right.
or whatever about Eolia was just the feeling of it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have a plot. Back then I started a lot of things with no freaking idea where I was going with them.
Wow.
But
That's so
there was a
cool.
certain tone feeling to that original story, so I tried to keep that feeling
Yeah.
through that entire thing.
That is insane.
So I started building, a plot
Yeah,
because you got to
right.
have a plot. And so in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, what I hope is that this has the feeling of some of like Lovecraft's work
No, I haven't.
without having any of the
Yeah,
failings that you can't you literally could not write that if you were Lovecraft because he did not spin out long plots.
Right.
His stories just don't have them.
Gotcha.
And the characters almost never matter. The characters are
Yeah.
just the joke about Lovecraft is that the plot is basically main character discovers something his brain can't comprehend and goes insane. That's the plot of
Oh.
every Lovecraft story from a kind of stereotypical perspective.
Okay.
It's kind of hilarious, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Wow,
you can't
I
write a book or a trilogy as long as Lord of the Rings like those
Right.
with Lovecraft's lack of plot
That
or
makes
character,
sense,
right?
right.
So I definitely think that has way more plot.
Oh, it does.
But
it
but I
does.
tried to maintain the feeling that is so
Well,
just moving to me. And I go to
Yeah.
movies for the same thing. If like scary movies have that kind of Lovecraftian feeling, which is kind of elusive, I love them. Annihilation being the best example, but also like Alien. Alien has that feeling that Lovecraft was going
well,
for.
I just
think.
have to plug your book though
Yeah.
too. It has all the good feels.
Yeah.
Well,
His
one thing I tried to
character.
do, and this is, I've actually pitched to 3 people at the 2016 conference, and the one who was the most excited about my pitch was an agent. Don't remember his name, Douglas something or other. But I explained that I was pitching the book as like it's a thoroughly modern protagonist, female protagonist,
Right.
in a Lovecraftian setting.
Right.
And he was like,
So he
hot
could get the
darn, you know, like
analogy.
he actually swore. He was like,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Oh.
that's great, you know.
Nice.
Like he
You're
was like,
oh,
that sounds great.
got fired up.
Wow.
And you know, what's funny too is like when I was writing these, the first book was written from 2004 to 2006.
Wow.
I believe the first lesbian kiss on TV, mainstream TV, was in 2000 in Buffy the Vampire Slayer between Tara and Willow.
Yeah.
So when I was writing these, I think I'm right about that.
Yeah, I have to stop and think on that one. Yeah.
So when I was writing these with a character that has a same-sex relationship, that was a lot more noteworthy. As was having a female protagonist in that kind of. Now, since then, since then it's become very
at that time.
commonplace.
No, now
So
it's
in that sense,
right.
I did not get published quick enough
Right.
because now female protagonists
Yes.
are all over the place,
Oh,
kicking
yeah,
butt.
absolutely.
You know, and back then it was a little more unusual.
Right.
Same with the relationship thing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so it's like I kind of missed the boat. In other
No,
words,
I think
but,
you're
you know.
coming into it. You're sliding
No,
into it.
yeah.
I don't
But-
think you missed it.
But I also, you know, I never wrote the book to be woke or something. You know, I wrote about the character that I cared about and did the things that I thought
Yeah.
were cool. So there was no.
I think they're cool.
There was no
Yeah.
agenda.
I
So
see you have
Right.
to read the book.
You
It's
just
the
develop
books.
characters
Yeah.
that, you know, really.
Charlene
got
would have
you.
to have audio though. She does audiobooks. I do.
Oh.
I read. I have to.
I do,
read
well, yeah.
in front
I
of me.
just
I have
I don't have an
like you
audiobook for this.
pretty
Yeah, I
busy.
know.
So.
Well, you know, so a
yeah,
couple,
I will be reading them, but I will, for the
well, a
record, I
couple
have
things.
not
I was
read
gonna say.
them.
I mean, if you
But
let
I will
me
be reading them.
direct things here.
Yeah,
There's a
go
couple.
right
There is a couple things I think are interesting. One would be kind of my goals in writing, and the other would be how I construct things. So
Right. Right.
this is my soapbox here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I started out to write this, the first rule was you gotta have fun. Don't turn this into a miserable project.
Yeah.
But because I tend to obsess about things.
Good advice.
But as far as the content of the book, I was like, I don't want chosen one mythology. So no chosen one stuff.
Right.
I don't want someone who's trying to discover her latent powers. You know, that's kind
I
of
get
boring.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
I don't want to have like endlessly separated lovers because that's
Yeah.
kind of annoying. I don't want any dragons, elves. You know, these are things I was going to avoid.
Yeah.
Right.
So trying to avoid this laundry list of things that I was trying to avoid
Yeah.
actually led to the book that you see because
Oh.
she's motivated by love for her brother. It's a family relationship,
Yeah.
not a romantic relationship that drives the first part of the story.
That's right.
Right.
Oh,
She's
now
not
it's
the
gonna make
chosen
me
one.
cry.
She's primarily successful through being tenacious.
Yeah.
That's like the main thing in her.
Nice.
She does, and so one way I got around that is she discovers artifacts of power, which is kind of a D&D kind of thing. That was highly influenced by Dungeons and Dragons. Not by Lord of the Rings so much, but by Dungeons and Dragons. There's a number of Dungeons and Dragons creatures that I
References in
threw in
there.
there. Yeah, but like there's artifacts that are more powerful than magic items in Dungeons and Dragons. So I kind of went with the idea of there being a very singular number of these artifacts.
That's cool.
They're called Terracani in there, but so it's through her discovery of something external to herself that she gains power, not by being the chosen one.
Right.
And I also very much tried to avoid the word magic.
Right.
I get kind of tired of the whole magic spells, you know.
No, I
So,
didn't.
so I
it
tried, and
didn't.
I also tried, you know, I also created some monsters from scratch
That was
that
insane.
Wow.
were
Yeah.
not dragons and not
Yeah,
orcs.
and you did a
yeah,
fine
they're-
job. I had nightmares.
Yeah, no, well, when I was writing, I
goodness.
think it's in this book. No, it's in this. Wait, no, it's in this one actually.
Yeah.
When
mean-
I was writing the one scene of her being held in captivity by
Yeah.
some of those beings,
Mm-hmm.
I was at Starbucks and I gave myself the heebie-jeebies. I was
Yeah.
like, because it's
Scare me. Like, where
because
does this come from?
it's like first-person narrative, and
Right.
you're writing this person, you know,
Yeah.
going through something horrifically terrifying. I kind of terrified myself. You know, like I really try to put myself
Yeah,
into
yeah,
like that
yeah,
situation.
no,
You spend, you know, that
Well-
long writing from a character's perspective, and you know,
That's
she
cool.
could, yeah. So, but as far as like writing what you know, I have a couple of tricks. So like, you know, the main character, you don't know this is gonna be the main character is from Issaquah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that you're
Right.
writing what you know there. One of the big locales later
Right.
in the story is Cannon Beach,
Right.
which I love. So you write that into the story.
Sure.
You can borrow people's personalities, you know. So like,
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I did kind of.
yeah. So
wonder where your
Parson
heads
Graham
were.
is
Yeah.
kind of a.
I might be a monster in her book.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Parson Graham is kind of like a C.S. Lewis kind of
Yeah.
character,
Oh wow.
you know. So like,
I'm joking.
so you can borrow like a famous person to be a model for a character. I also
Yeah,
use visual
yeah.
models, so I found like, I find people that I think look like a character, and then you look at a
Yeah.
picture of them when you're describing that character.
Wow.
You're actually
wow.
looking at an actual picture,
Wow, your
and that makes it a lot
imagination.
easier
Yeah,
than just
you've got a
pulling
great
stuff out of your
imagination.
mind.
I
You
love
Yeah,
know,
your
like,
imagination
love it,
knows
love
no
it.
bounds.
well,
You know,
It's
like,
just very open.
yeah.
Very
It's
open.
the hardest part about writing that and pulling off, and I mean, there's some stuff I kept in the first book that I think is borderline should have been taken out or rewritten or something. Was the cosmology got so complicated that I felt like at a couple points I was writing just to make things clear for me.
Oh.
Like,
well,
like-
let me tell you, I was
Wow.
so glad when I got to book 2. I'm like, I need to write down everything so I can remember.
that's
who's-
kind of like my parents' reaction was like, we can't, we can't keep track of all this. It's
Oh,
too-
but then
Oh.
that
too
was
much.
there, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
that really helped me.
Yeah.
But I was
Hmm.
trying to I'm pretty good at tracking things, but I liked it. I loved the books. So.
Well, I'm glad you
It's
like it
great
so
to
much.
get lost. It sounds like you get
Well-
easily lost in the book.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that
It was
people
scary.
I always
Some things are
say that
scary.
nobody's going to read,
Mm-hmm.
a trilogy as long as Lord of the Rings
Mhm.
just because they like you.
Mhm.
They're just not. No matter how much they like you, they're not
No.
going to get through that.
No, I like
So
the
like,
story.
so
and
like,
the
if someone
characters.
gets through all 3, there's
Yeah.
got to be some value there. you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Oh,
I really
absolutely.
believe it's a great story. You always
It's a
wonder.
great.
You always
great-
wonder whether you wrote it well,
Mhm.
but I definitely believe the story.
Question
No,
for
I
you.
love the story. Yeah.
So can you ever see these up on the screen?
Oh, that's a good
Well,
one.
another thing, another thing
Great
that I
question.
probably should mention is like
Yeah.
I tried to write. Some people have said that I write battle scenes
Uh-huh.
with great clarity,
Yeah.
and I actually
Yeah.
did like map out some of the battle scenes. I mapped out on paper and stuff before I wrote them. Yeah, no, I totally can. I tried to imagine some of the movies that were
I
coming
can
out.
already feel it.
But
Well,
Wait,
like some of the
some of
movies
it-
that were coming out at the time when I was writing
Yeah.
those, like Alexander, we're starting to do like CGI kind of overview battle scenes that
Right.
were really like
Yeah.
impossible prior.
Right.
And I definitely tried to picture things that way in my mind, and I think that helped. It would be a hell of an expensive
It
series.
would.
It would. You'd have to
Especially,
scale it
yeah.
down.
Well,
So
one
it's
of my
almost like a
frustrations-
story within a story
Yeah.
because it's so much.
There's no
You
way
have
you
to
can make
do-
a movie out of it.
right,
It's
you've
too,
gotta
it's too,
just-
it's too much.
No,
You gotta-
it would have to be a
You know,
series.
but like another story,
series.
a story that would be
Yeah, a series would be good because that's more long living.
a series that would be really great, and I can't believe they've never made one, is Hyperion by Dan Simmons, because the first book is a modern day or a sci-fi retelling of the Canterbury Tales. So there's like these 6 or 7 pilgrims who are on their way to the Hyperion planet, and they each tell their backstory. So the first book is almost all backstory, and every story is very, very different. So each one would make a killer like 90-minute episode of
Yeah.
a series, but they've never done it.
You should go
Right.
pitch it as an
Yeah, well,
agent and get some
Yeah,
money.
I wonder if it's just because it would be so expensive.
So
It
expensive.
probably
yeah.
would be.
Well, like
the
this, I mean, the
scenes, yeah.
locales in there would be very expensive.
Yeah, very
You know,
expensive,
like you've
yeah.
got a floating island
Right,
city,
right.
like, you
And
know.
they could do so
costumes
much.
and
They could do it. I mean, there's
With-
no doubt they could
Yeah,
do it now.
with
but, like,
technology is so amazing.
actually,
That's true.
back a long time ago, I was hoping that Dakota Fanning could be Siana,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but now she's too
I
old.
could-
See, that's
I
the
could
problem.
see
Time,
her,
time, time,
yeah.
time moves on, and now she's
Yeah.
too old.
Oh, but there's a.
Yeah.
There's others that'll be like
Yeah.
her. There's always.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's just kind of like that
Yeah.
shows you how long this book has
Yeah.
been. And
Oh, I could have
the
seen
offering
where you
that,
would have
like,
got that
yeah.
too. Yeah, I
Or-
could
You just
see
have to
that.
have a GoFundMe,
Shiana.
raise funds for you, right?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Fund my
well, and the other
project.
funny thing too is
Right.
back when I was writing this, people, long books were still selling.
yeah.
Right.
And the first thing that I got from everyone at the writing conference, to the point where it was almost like nauseating, was your book's too long.
Well,
As if a long book is bad or something,
yeah, that's
But
weird.
Well,
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
I
oh,
get
but
that.
that's the
I get that.
generational
That's
thing.
the-
yeah.
yeah,
Well, the
I
last
get
really
that.
long book that I can remember getting published by a new author was the guy who did Game of the Wind. I don't remember his name right now. Really, really amazing duology, and the guy's never written the third book. He's pulling a George R.R. Martin on us. It's really frustrating. But like the first 2 books
yeah.
are really long and they're really good. It's Game of the Wind and Wise Man's Fear, I think, is the second one, and they're incredible.
Right.
And they're long, but they were
Yeah.
there. It's about probably 15 years ago they came out or something like that. And I think people are very gun shy now about really long books because of attention spans.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this would work really well. I think people would be very invested in the stories that came
Yeah.
out as like a Netflix series.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
it's well,
absolutely.
the Bohemian Rhapsody, that's one right there, where when they put it out, what is it, 14, 16 minutes long?
Well, it's not that long. But
So, but
it
I mean,
feels longer.
It feels longer, but everybody was like, no, don't do that. It's
Yeah.
too long. You're
Yeah.
stupid. And look at
Yeah.
how you know, that one
Yeah.
has been around forever.
Well, I think,
So,
you have to write the book you want to write, and if someone
Right.
says the only thing that you can write is got to be terse, and you have a desire to write something that's long and epic because those are the stories that you enjoyed, like then you just write what you want to write.
That's
Darn it.
right.
Like Lord of the Rings is really long. You know, some of my favorite books, Hyperion is pretty weighty. It's like 4 books that are 800 pages.
Yeah.
They were written probably in the 90s, late 80s. I don't know. Kushiel's Gart is a series that I really love, and that is a really complex story. It has a glossary, just like mine.
Wow, I love that glossary.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I never
Like,
heard of a.
well,
it's funny. I was
No,
making notes.
Kushiel's
I
Gart
put
has a
one.
really, really long glossary.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's a
need
really
it.
cool
Do
story.
you go
Yeah.
back? Who's this person again?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so
Look at the shoes.
yeah. These are Shauna
that's-
shoes.
that's
So
awesome.
this is
Isn't that cool?
Look at that.
Shauna in Paris. I
Yeah.
drew,
Yeah.
and then
That is amazing.
a,
Sorry,
a
I just
parent of a student
scrolled.
drew these two. Of
That's
them.
so
Oh,
good.
So that's,
wow.
I think I actually have a blow up of that. Hold on.
That is
So
amazing.
cool.
I didn't mean to scroll off that, but that's
Okay,
so
so
cool.
she did.
Very cool. Look at
She
that.
did that for me.
Oh,
Wow.
that
Just
is
for
free.
beautiful.
That's beautiful.
But then
This
she
is-
was being funny and she made Shauna as a UPS worker.
What a great
Oh my
artist
gosh,
she is.
yeah.
I thought it was pretty
She's
hilarious.
a really
That's
great
great.
artist.
Yeah.
And these are the
Those
original
shoes.
mock-ups of the
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah.
So
Those
this
are
character,
so
by the
cool.
way,
He had these made in Whidbey Island? you
no,
said?
Victoria.
Oh, Victoria.
You
Wow.
can see she's on the guitar
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
I saw her.
So that was a
Yeah.
very expensive project putting
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah.
I'm actually wanting. You talk about what like current creativity. My current creativity is kind of a little bit stalled, but I've been brainstorming book 4, and that is the main character of book
Yeah.
4, and that is the daughter of. I don't think it's
Oh,
really.
all right.
Yeah,
I
this is
got
a
it. I'm
daughter.
not gonna-
This is a daughter of a character.
Yeah, and I know
Nice.
the
We're not gonna
character because
spoil
I
it.
read the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
So you have
But
to read the books.
yeah.
I
Right.
think what's been hard is I want to
Yes.
write. I like writing from
I
my
love that.
perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
But one of
Yeah.
the problems when, like, this applies to Kushiel's Gart. It was written from my perspective, even though I tell people not to do that. And you're really in the head of this character for the first couple books. I think it's 3 books that are from her perspective. But then she wrote books from a different female character's perspective. Book 7 is from a different character's perspective.
Oh, wow.
I have a hard time separating the tone of that character from the first character. Because it's the same writer writing in first person. So you feel like, is this really the same?
Right.
So I've been trying to get into. I feel like
yeah.
the closest I've ever felt to writer's block is trying to figure out how to write from her perspective without it becoming like feeling like I'm writing from Shauna's perspective.
Right.
So I've spent like the whole winter
Yeah.
trying to think
Yeah.
from this character's perspective instead.
That'll come to you. That
Well,
that's
I'm getting
cool.
there.
yeah,
but,
that
yeah.
will come to you, and I
Wow.
can see it coming and be excited to read it. Yeah, that's good.
So this is these are
Yeah.
the way. This is what the first book's cover was made out of.
right.
So those are the separate images.
Yeah, yeah.
And by the way, my
I
son did the
remember.
covers.
He did.
Yeah, Ian did those covers.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
wow.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
he's also an artist
Yeah.
as well. He's,
Yeah.
That's
So like,
cool.
so
Very
this is how we built the covers.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
so it shows like all the different.
Right.
Actually, I think when I made this, the third book wasn't out yet.
This is so cool.
Yeah, and then these are 2 images that are also on my shoes that I
Right.
just feel
Yeah.
like are inspiring.
Wow.
Oh, I love it. I love
That's
it.
awesome.
That's her as a
You're
little
very
girl. That's
creative.
her as like a tween.
Yeah.
Because this image captures the feeling actually of not only of
Yeah.
her as a character, but also it captures the feeling of that old story way back when.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
anyway.
Yeah, you have to read the book, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's
And very
Excited.
excited.
I brought my visual aids here. This one's
Yes.
perfect though. So anyway,
We're gonna
Siana?
put on our link.
Yes.
I just got lost in thought because I was so excited. We're gonna put the link to Amazon to buy these
Absolutely.
books.
yeah.
They're
Well,
so incredible.
I think
and we're
I've
gonna cheer
made
you on.
today.
Charles.
I've maybe made, if I'm lucky, $200 on them.
Yeah, and he'll
Total.
make
Oh,
more.
that's sad because
No,
so
Yeah.
much love and effort went into that.
You know,
Well-
but it also takes the right.
it takes the right. Yeah.
I
You gotta find your
well, I
niche,
decided
right?
to.
Oh, he has his niche.
I
He
decided
needs to
to.
find his market.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. His niche market.
I
is
decided to
right.
self-publish it
Demographics.
because
Right.
I had like from 2012 to 2017, I had like 5-year plan to get traditionally published, And at the end of that, it didn't happen, and I realized that route was so time consuming.
Right.
Because you don't just pitch to a publishing company, you pitch to an agent, and then the agent pitches. So there's like an extra step, and the extra step means selling your book. I know that's.
I just love
We have
that.
voice lessons in the background.
Yeah,
So cool.
Yeah.
We're in the studio.
Well, anyway, I don't even notice it anymore. But
That's awesome.
I just knew that like if I wanted to get them out there,
Yeah.
they were just gonna not get out there unless I just did it.
That,
So.
I'm glad you did.
So
Wasn't
I just
it-
did it because I figured having that on a music stand was worth something, and I didn't want to wait forever for this
Right.
dream that I would get
No.
them traditionally published. You know,
Yeah.
because for one thing, it's very hard to do now.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get. I have a student, a former student. She's now probably, I don't know if she's 40 yet, but she's a romance author. Just got a big traditional publishing deal after being self-published.
Wow.
But she made the decision to write to market at a certain point about 10 years ago. She was writing what she wanted, which was kind of more or less in the same genre she ended up in. But
Right.
she decided that after, like, I re-met her at the 2016 conference.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm just gonna go whole hog right to market.
Okay.
And it's really worked for her.
Yeah.
But that's just not where I'm at. I have no interest in doing that.
Yeah.
So you just write what you want. And,
That's right.
You know.
And have a good time.
And I mean, as long as there's a couple people who say, those are really great.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
No, well, we'll get more than a couple of people to
Well,
read.
I wanted to be there's an epic romance that eventually developed, and I also wanted to. There's a Louis McMaster Bujold. I don't know how you say her name. Bujold. She actually has a series where she has two main characters. They actually they're in love and they spend a lot of time together. And I've noticed that like in other series, like the Sword of Truth novels, he's always separating the two lovers. And that's like a shtick to always separate the two lovers.
Yeah.
And I was impressed that Lois took these two characters and kept them together.
That's right.
Like, because
Yeah.
there's almost like an unspoken comment being made that like actual love is boring. The only thing that's interesting is separation and angst.
Yeah.
And like, I wanted to feel like no, actually seeing my two characters in relationship is not boring.
No, it's not boring.
I hope it's not boring. So
It's so not boring.
yeah, so that was a conscious choice too, because I always hate like movies where like you spend the whole movie wishing two people would get together. They finally connect, and the movie's over. They never show them together. I'm like, gosh darn it, that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
So one thing I did in my book is I made sure I showed the characters in that relationship connected, not through the whole 3 books, but like just a significant a lot of it is just them interacting, because I found them interesting, and I hope other people do too.
Oh my
but
God.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah.
And you really did a
Yeah.
blowout job. So
Well,
good.
thank you.
So
It was an obsession
Yeah.
a lot between 2004 and 2012. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long obsession.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm getting the pass that you have right there. The
What, this?
Yeah, that is
That's
so
cool.
cool.
That's my music school ID card.
Oh,
That
that's
is so cool.
funny.
Yeah,
I was
have,
looking at the
I
picture
have one
too.
of my celebrated teachers here that I always quote. I have this picture there. So
Nice.
I'll actually pull it out. People probably think it's funny, but I'll pull it out and be like, Carl Schroeder said.
Wow.
'Cause, like,
No, it's also I keep looking at that
Yeah,
one.
well,
going, that's so cool.
I've been here so long, everything's probably got a story to it. There's so many things. There's so many things here.
Awesome.
Well, we're so fortunate we got to meet
Oh,
with you.
I can do this all
Absolutely.
day long. But
Thank
yeah.
you for taking
Sure.
the
Yeah,
time
sure.
for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
We
he'll give
really
us lessons
appreciate
and
it.
we'll
I don't know if
do.
you want to ask off camera if you want to ask any pertinent questions that you.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, we can wrap
Yeah,
this up.
all right.
Well, I'm not. I can keep
Yeah.
talking, but like,
Yeah.
whatever. If
Okay,
there's any like
everyone,
burning.
we're going to give
burning-
our links, and here's Klaus coming over to
Hi,
say,
Klaus.
wrap it up.
Hi. Oh,
Klaus
oh
is
my
like, they've had enough
goodness.
of your attention.
This big
It's-
fluffy love bucket. Aren't you a
Love
love bucket? You're a love
Like
bucket.
he's used to interacting with people.
And he's a
Yeah.
what it called?
He's a erasure.
erasure. You are
Erasure.
beautiful.
Yeah, he really is.
They were bred
Totally
from.
not hypoallergenic.
They were bred from German wolf spitz, Samoyed, and
Yeah.
Chow Chow.
Oh,
I can
but
see that whole
Chows
comment,
are
chow chow. But the temperament on this one
Well-
is really well.
Yeah, I think his temperament was molded by being at the school all the time, interacting with different people from a young age.
Right.
That's true.
Because they tend to be standoffish, and he's
And
not
We
particularly.
used to have a chow chow.
And then
Yeah.
he can be stubborn like a chow.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
They are
But he's
scary.
also extremely bonded to me, so like our
Yeah.
our friendship, I think,
Yeah.
influences how he behaves.
Yeah.
What color is his tongue?
Pink, actually.
Oh, pink,
Yeah, people
okay.
always ask that. I was like, no, his tongue is boring.
No,
But
Mine was
a lot
orange.
of
Mine was purple.
well, a lot of
Yeah.
erasures are darker. He's a
Oh,
very
really?
light colored one.
Oh.
Yeah,
love
He's
a lot of them have like they're
Look at
actually
your
are all
tail.
black ones.
You're
so-
beautiful.
Yeah,
I
he's
got
a-
your tail.
He's
He's
called
so
a
good.
wolf cream erasure.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
wolf
is
cream.
gorgeous.
He's beautiful.
All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna turn that
We're
off.
gonna
and then
turn
we'll,
this off. We thank
Thank
you
you.
Oh, of
so
course. Yeah,
much.
thank you.
It's such a
thank you.
I like to talk so
pleasure.
much that, you know,
We love this.
Yeah.
We're
I'll
gonna put a link.
as you can tell, I can keep going.
Oh, yeah,
No,
gonna
we're
put a
happy.
link to the
Yeah,
books. That is
yeah.
amazing. I
Thank
love
you
you
Well-
taking us
so much.
through
Yeah.
your not only your
Well, it
music
is
side of
hard
school,
to
but
talk about the books because of spoilers. Like
yeah,
the
we
first
don't
one,
want to
Yeah.
spoil it.
the first one
Yeah.
has a mystery element, and it's hard to like. You know, you could easily. You know, what they told us at the conference was, be prepared for your publishing company, if you get traditionally published,
Yeah.
to blow to spoil your book,
Yeah.
because they'll write something on the
Oh,
back
right,
cover
right.
to sell the book,
Right,
and they're
sure.
only concerned with selling the book, not
Exactly.
keeping your secret.
Right.
So just be prepared to have them make you mad by putting what they put on the back cover. And I was like, okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with self-publishing either,
Yeah.
because if you think about musicians today,
Yeah.
they are pretty much self-published, and it's a good thing because
Yeah.
otherwise you're under contract.
Yeah, it's
Someone-
been tough because like I've finished a few self-published books that other people have given me, but there's been a large number of them that I've just quit partway through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
there's a local horror writer
Mhm.
who I have read her books all the way through because they're solid all the way through.
Right.
But there's two other guys, not mentioning any names, that I
Yeah.
met
Thank
at
you.
writing
Yeah.
conferences, and I bought their books, and
Yeah.
and one I made about 90 pages before I gave up, and one I only read like the first chapter. I'm like, I'm done. Like they were like they really needed like editing or something. And then there's another one where this guy had a kind of a cool idea, a little cliche. I met him on Words with Friends actually, and I bought his book on Amazon. And he said he used AI editing.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't
no.
do that
No.
because
No.
it was a mess. It
Yeah.
got to the middle of the book and it was like paragraphs were repeating, and I was just like,
Oh.
and he has this on Amazon. And I
So it
was
was like redundant.
it was it was a mess.
Yeah.
So I just was like, if he didn't notice this before he published it, I can't trust this guy as an author anymore
No.
to be worth my time.
That's
Because
right.
something that's
Yeah.
I mean, I went through these books
Mhm.
with a very
Fine
careful
comb.
grammatical comb.
I
I
think-
learned a lot about
Yeah.
grammar and about things that I did not know
Right.
in writing these
Oh
books.
yeah, I would be.
I was my own editor,
Not
and
quite.
I got super nitpicky, like
Wow.
how to provoke an M dash. You know, this is a thing. I did not know M dashes were a thing until
didn't know.
yeah. M and N dashes are different things for different purposes,
I know, right?
and there's a formatting rule to those that
Yeah.
you're supposed
Wow.
to use, and I didn't even
Yeah.
know that from all the years in school and everything. No one ever commented about
That's
this.
interesting.
Yeah, so I learned
so
stuff
you
about
learned.
He
quotation
could teach
marks
on
and
that too. He
yeah.
could do another side squirrel on that.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean
you
like
know.
yeah, I could
You
because
will never
I
be unemployed.
I know I learned so much about
Yeah.
grammar.
Yeah.
I bought books about it. I have
Yeah.
software that
Wow.
does it.
Yeah.
I had actually one of the most fun things was junk. I have a thing. I have a list of junk phrases. They're like just worthless things that you say all the time when you write that you don't realize you say.
Oh.
And it's maybe 50 or 60 lines long.
Uh-huh.
I went through the second and third books
Uh-huh.
one time all the way through the book for each one of those. So
Oh,
that means I went through
wow.
book 3 60 times looking for a particular junk phrase.
That's interesting.
So I would search in Word, and every time it came up, I'd look at it and go, does this really need to be there?
Right.
You know,
No, I get
things
it. I
like
get
in
it.
truth, or one of my worst ones is instead of just saying something, I'll say she saw, she thought, or I saw, I thought, when I'm just describing a scene.
Right.
Well, of course you saw it. You're the main character. You're there. You don't
Right.
need to say I saw. You just need to say the thing.
Right.
But I had to remove so much of that crap to
Yeah.
make it read
Wow.
better. So I went through it, and I think a lot of people who are self-published don't do that level of work. They either don't believe they're capable of it,
Right.
or they don't have time for it,
Or they don't have the self-awareness.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like I mean, people say you edit your own book. Well, probably an editor would see some different things, but from a grammatical standpoint, I
Mm-hmm.
edited the hell out of my books,
Wow.
Yeah.
and I was extremely
Wow.
picky. You know, it
Long
took me about a
time.
year and a half to edit book 2, and then another year and a half to edit book 3.
That is
A lot of
time
dedication.
intensive.
Yeah, like every night,
Yeah,
midnight,
sorry.
sitting down
Like for
doing
these-
a couple pages. You know,
Wow.
Yeah.
so
It's amazing.
I think, yeah, so I think, because if someone does take a chance on a self-published author, I want to be worth their time.
Right.
I don't want them to get through this going, man, this guy is sloppy, why am I reading this? Because that's been kind of my reaction to other people's self-published books,
Right.
is like, if they're not respecting my time enough to fix this, I'm not going to read their book anymore.
Right.
Right.
You know?
No, that makes sense.
Because they're
That
throwing roadblocks in my way as a reader
Right.
that they could have easily eliminated with some care.
makes-
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay, genius.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Anyway.
Well, we'll talk. We're gonna continue the talk
Well,
after this.
I'll come
but
back again.
We
Yeah.
will sign off
and
for
when
now.
and when you publish this, you're going to tell me, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
We'll send you a link.
And
Yep.
I'll
We'll
be
send you a
oh,
link.
oh,
We're
I'll
gonna
be-
be-
oh,
no,
no,
all the
I'll be
links.
you're
talking.
amazing.
No, you're
amazing,
amazing. No.
amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
So
we're-
this is.
yeah.
I have no regrets for publishing a trilogy.
Oh my God.
Oh no!
Look
now
how
I-
fat
now
it
I-
is too.
now I
Like
can
that's a
look at
lot.
that.
That's a lot of fat reading
That's
there.
a lot.
You know what's really
Can't
funny is
wait.
I've never actually read them in that form.
Oh, you haven't?
I need to do that sometime. I need
I-
to actually sit and read it.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like I've read it multiple times, but I've never
Sorry,
actually
baby.
read it like
Hi.
in book form, and that would be kind of interesting.
It's
Yeah.
long. It's
Yeah.
good. I'm invested. So
Yes.
I'm invested.
So you
in
would
the
read book
characters.
4, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I have great ideas for that.
For sure. Oh my God.
The ideas are
That's
great. The ideas are
incredible.
great. It's the execution that's being
Yeah.
very slow.
Right. That's
Like,
all right.
like I wrote like 20 pages this whole last winter. That was it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because I'm still struggling with like just the main character's tone, you know.
Yeah. Right.
That's, like the
Right,
plot.
as you
I've got
said,
a plot
yeah.
going, but I just am struggling with the tone. You
Yeah.
know, I'll
Well,
get there.
hey, no, you will get there.
We'll sign off and
This is a
we
cool
will
thing.
text you. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you
you're
for
Thank you, Charles
being with
This
us,
is
everybody, and
And you
too,
Klaus,
Klaus.
little Klaus,
Hey,
and
Klaus.
Coffee and a Podcast signing off. Ciao.